So I'm starting this recording because I want to actually put it on YouTube as well. So then,
Go ahead.
okay. So I'm going to put it on my page, and then you can kind of share it if you want, or
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll start there. And then I'll share it to my group as well. Okay. Takes a little minute here with Zoom. So it's preparing itself now. So I'm glad we're
Okay, do
starting.
your thing. I'm Sam's. Yeah, you do your thing.
Okay. Almost there. Come on, we're almost there. Go. Taylor, let's try to type that. All right, let's do it. Let's go live.
Right. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Go, go, go. All right. Let me pull up my.
What's up, Mike? What's
Hey,
up?
hey,
What's
good evening,
hello,
everyone.
hello. Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year. We're entering into a whole new year, a whole new season, 2021. I'm looking forward to it.
Right,
I am
right.
looking forward to it. So good evening, family. This is Pastor Carolyn, your pastor and purpose pusher. And I have my brother here, Red. She is a true man of valor. I was looking up, well, in the Bible, it talks about men of valor, and they are men of courage, passion, and what's the other one? Courage, passion, and strength. And I see that in everything that you do. So he's going to drop some golden nuggets tonight. And we're going to talk about, well, we're going to start out by talking about mindset. But first, can you just tell us, who you are, what you do, who is Reg Kingdom? I love that Kingdom.
Yes,
Or
yes. Man, Reginald Orr, Kingdom Works Orr, from Oakville, Alabama, man, the home of Jesse Owens, man. Reginald Kingdom Works is just a tailored man, taking the hand that was dealt and just taking it and just playing that hand dealt. When you playing spades, you never know what your opponent has, but you and your teammate coming together, you know what I'm saying? If they're taking that hand that's dealt, you just playing it, you know what I'm saying? And not being not being stuck because of your circumstances, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically what it is. But taking the hand dealt and just moving forward and doing what I gotta do, and just understanding that poverty is not a location, it's a mindset.
Oh my God.
So
I say
that's the
that
jewel.
all the time. I do wealth builder Saturdays, and I teach workshops, and it's all about the mindset. And I start with that. Poverty is a mindset. Because usually when people hear wealth, they start getting fearful.
Right.
What you afraid of? No,
Right.
that's that poverty mindset. That's the poverty
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah, that's it. And
Wow.
a lot of people, even when they taking up the offering, you know what I'm saying? People like they go to Saks Fifth Avenue, they spending all that money, hundreds, $200-$300, but then when somebody asking for the offering, they start getting their feelings, or they start, you gotta understand Satan controlled the resources. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta look at that allegory as a job. You know what I'm saying? More money than money at the end of the month. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's it too.
Because Satan loves it when you broke, busted, and disgusted, because you can't. Because I've been there, so I know. So when you don't have money to pay your bills, you can't think about anything else.
Right.
When your stomach is growling, you don't have enough food, you can't think about anything else. So he loves that
Mm,
because it's restricting you, it's keeping you bound, and you can't move forward in the things of God.
right,
Not properly, not effectively anyway.
right. You won't,
So
you won't, you
no.
won't, you won't. And
So I'm telling you,
yeah, your faith will be tested too on that level right there. When you struggling and you barely making ends meet, and you start to question your faith because you're not getting the right information. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
To get you where you gotta go. So that's basically what it is. So yeah, but I'm ready to get into
That
this
is
thing.
so true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ready to
so
get into it.
I'm ready to get into this too. So tailored for success, and we're going to start talking about mindset. And we were talking a little bit about Joshua and Caleb, and you mentioned Valley of the Dead Bones. So I mean, whichever one I think maybe Joshua and Caleb, we can start there if you like.
Man, I think about Isaiah 6 and 8. Where they say, "Who shall I send, and who will go for us?" And I happen to be the one in the family. Taking the hand dealt,
Okay.
born a statistic, being 7 years old, um, um,
Wow.
having to be the man of the house at a young age without a father figure around. So I knew early on that I knew there was something different in the world, and I knew I wanted something different. So that right there, in itself, just basically set me up for the blessing. A lot of individuals, when the father figure is not around, they get in trouble. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But luckily, I ran across the right individuals that actually guided me on the right path. Paul said, the Bible said the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So, when you hook up with that mentor, they're going to guide and they're going to lead you in. Also, when they start dropping those nuggets in that wisdom, the Bible also
Yes.
says your path grows brighter and brighter because your steps are ordered and you can navigate through life, man. That's basically what it is.
That's so
So,
good that you talked about mentors, because it's funny because I was having that conversation with someone a couple of days ago about the male child having mentors. Well, we all need
right,
mentors, but I'm saying I was a single mom with a son.
mm,
And the one thing I did with him, even though it was a lot of drama with his dad, I made sure that he still had a relationship with his dad, because he wasn't toxic to him, he was toxic to me. That's one
right,
thing. But then also I made sure he had other male figures around him, like his grandpa, my brothers, men that could pour into him, because sometimes as a
right,
single mom, we think that we have all the answers. You cannot, you're not a male.
right, right,
We're
right.
never going to be that. We're never going to be that. So all we can do is mother the son. And some sons
Mm.
have too much mothering. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's a
They
yeah,
need
yeah.
that
It kind of
male mentor
yeah.
is important.
Yeah, it makes them soft, you know what I'm
So
saying, and they can't move. But like I said, luckily I ran across the right individuals. Sometimes you got to believe in somebody else belief in you until you can believe for yourself.
that's true.
You know what
That's
I'm
so
saying?
true.
So luckily ran across we live next door to one of my mentors, father, Thurman White. He also was the mayor, and he also had rental property. So running across him, I didn't really understand his jargon when he used to talk, but I
Hmm.
knew he moved different than everybody else in the community.
Wow.
And then also his son was a mentor to me as well. So he saw my gifts early on. He gave me an opportunity to play the drums, learn how to play drums. He gave me the opportunity to rap, to exercise my voice. So luckily, man, look at a man as he is, he becomes worse. But
Mm.
look at what he could be, and he'll become it. So that's very important that you get around that right individual that's going to push you to that next level, that's going to help you get to that next level, man. But also, it was individuals around saying, you're not going to be nothing. You're going to be just like your father. You're going to be just like this. But it's not what they're saying about you. It's what you answer to.
And what you
So I,
believe,
I
right?
was able to get around the right people that to actually guide it and get me to where I wanted to go. So mentors and that's very important. That is very, very important. And I'm also a mentor and a coach. So,
Oh,
they,
good. That's
they
so
need
good.
need
That's
the
good.
services that can come through.
It's
Yeah, come.
needed. It's needed. I was listening when you were just saying that, because there's always the negative people that want to speak negative
Hmm.
on you. They want to put those what I call word curses on you. And so many people listen to that and they become exactly what that word curse was. You don't have to become you first of all, I always look at it like this: God created me, you didn't create me, so you can't define who I am. You're not the great creator, so you can't define who I am. Okay.
Right.
So, but a lot of people really take that in and take that to heart. If somebody says to them, well, you want to be just like your no good dad, or you're going to be just like your no good mom, and they really take that on. And I'm just speaking from experience with just mentoring women and them just really not loving themselves because somebody spent a lot of time speaking word curses over them and telling them how they were not measuring up or they were not enough.
Yeah, you also said something important, that key too, that you allowed your son's father to also see him. That's important too, because a lot of men, we're having to go. The relationship ended bad. You said it was toxic to you, but not the child. You know what I'm saying? And but when they split up, they take the child too. So when you break up, the child break up with you too. So those words that they're putting into the child's head, they have to find out. The kid have to also find out for themselves, because the parent is not giving them a chance. But luckily, my vision is to restore mankind. You fix the man, you fix the home. You fix the home, you fix the community. You fix the community, you can fix the world. So luckily, I stayed in the fight and didn't allow them to keep me from going and doing what I needed to do. But it's been rough. It's been chaotic trying to stay in the fight, trying to be around your kids, trying to call when you got the other parent bitter. So that individual, that male figure that's out there right now and you're going through, stay in the fight, persevere. Don't grow weary in doing good. Continue to do good. And I promise you, those babies are going to see it. They're going to see it. They're going to see it.
That's so good. That's good, because it was an abusive marriage. But the thing is, he was never abusive to my son. And I understand, and my son was actually close with both of us. How some children kind of closer to the mom or closer to the dad. Well, my son was close to both of us. And so and that was one of the reasons why I stayed as long as I did, because I'm like, I don't want my son to not be with his dad. But then when it got to be too much for me, when it came to my life, it was like, okay, you want to choose life, or you want to choose death? And I moved out. My son was 5 years old. But I used to tell my son, this is between me and your dad. This has nothing to do with you. Like, I want him to understand this is our issue. This is not your issue. I know you had to go through some things, you had to suffer through some things, but this is not your issue. Your dad still loves you. He's still going to be your dad no matter where we live. He wants to be your dad. And so there were times when I didn't want to, but I want to call my dad. Well, you call your dad. I want to go see my dad. Go see your dad. And I thank God I did that, because that I just know that was the right thing to do for my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needed that. That. And it made a difference in his life. I believe it made had a positive effect on him.
And it's a true statement when it said in the Bible, he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. Even though I didn't have that father figure around, but he showed up right now when I needed him. And also in a sound mind, in a sense where he can focus and he can function and he can give me wisdom, knowledge, and understanding where I can move and I can navigate through what I got to go through. So that is a true statement. But like I said, again, you must stay in the fight, because a lot of times, man, I drove 9 and 10 hours just to go see him just for 5 or 10 minutes. And also going through with the baby mamas as well. Driving 9, 10 hours, no sleep, just for 30 minutes to an hour just to celebrate a holiday. But I stayed in the fight. That's the thing. You have to stay in the fight, and you got to understand that faith not tested cannot be trusted. You know what I'm saying? They playing with your emotions, telling you to go through something they haven't even been through themselves. Faith not tested cannot be trusted. And that's real. I don't care what nobody says.
That's real. Well, that's not faith.
Real.
Right. That's not right. But I know that your child appreciated. It doesn't matter if you spent 1 minute. That child will always remember that their dad showed up to spend 1 minute with them.
Man.
And the one thing about children, they're very resilient,
Mm.
because I used to have friends that would say to me, why would you let him see his son when he don't even pay child support? That has nothing to do with my son. It has nothing to do with my son. And
Right.
it was, I'm not saying it was easy, but I had to do what I had to do for my son. And I remember I used to tell my friends, the thing is, I believe that there's gonna come a day where my son's gonna figure it all out for himself. Because the other thing, I would never
That's
let
the key.
anybody say
Yeah.
anything negative
Yeah.
to my son or around my son about his dad. I used to say,
Right.
because one
Right.
day he's gonna figure it all out by himself, and that's between him and his dad at
That's
that
it.
point.
Yes. Yes. But
But for right
you
now,
giving him
as
the
a mom, I
opportunity.
gotta make sure he's whole, as
Right.
whole as he
Right.
can be after all the stuff that he witnessed, because he did witness some things. And my son is an adult now, and I'm telling you, it paid off. I know, because he could never say to me, "You kept me from my dad." Like, he could never
Right.
say that to me. So
Wow.
it's so important.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, wow. That's deep. Like I said, you gave him the opportunity. That's what's really, really important. Yeah, that's what's really important. But that's, that is what pushed me to write the book, Taylor for Success. If you don't have
Okay.
the book, go get the book.
Do
Go
you
to
have a copy of it
Amazon.
so you can hold it up? Tailoring for
Yeah,
Success.
yes. If you don't have the book, go get the book. Go to
Okay.
Amazon.com, type in Reginald Orr. It's gonna pull it up. Taylor
There
for
it is.
Success, your blueprint for victory. The stories that's in there. You get the mindset so you can know how to maneuver. Our
Mm.
book is to distract, dispute, and interrupt the story that you are believing about yourself.
Woo!
You are able to put yourself in those positions, man, and know that, yo, somebody else went through that situation and they got through that situation. I know I can do it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So you're gonna have that spirit. That's what Jesus talking about, the spirit. Everybody preach his miracles, but they don't preach what he preached. He talked about the kingdom. That's where the name come from, kingdom. When the kingdom shows up, power shows up.
Right.
When the kingdom shows up, a mindset shows up.
Woo!
When the kingdom shows up, a mentality, a way of being, an attitude. You know how to maneuver through
Yes,
life. You know what I'm saying?
that's
And
right.
that's what it takes.
Well,
You know what
I
I'm
always
saying?
say we're kingdom citizens, and because we are kingdom citizens, we can't operate on the world's level, because we're on a whole
Right.
nother level.
Ooh,
You
you
know,
just said something.
we're on a
Yeah,
whole
you
nother
just
level.
said
Well, we
something.
should be on a whole nother level.
Should be.
Let me put it like
Right.
that.
Yeah,
We
and
should
you
be.
said something, world, the Greek cosmos, world, cosmos, where you got Greek, and then you got earth. You got to understand the difference between the two. You got the world, which is the systems, and then you got the earth where you put your feet, the terra firma. Well, if you don't know the difference between the two, you're gonna be operating wrong, but think you're doing right while you operating wrong. So, but if you understand the systems, he said renew your mind daily so you won't
Woo!
move like they. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So if you're renewing your mind and you're detoxing and you pouring into you, like I was saying last night, you have to pour into you so you can pour out of you
Right.
your greater self, your greater you. So that's about being tailored. That's about going through the process, going through the other side and coming out so you can go back and get that other individual, because
Yes.
your faith has been tested and you've taken that mustard seed and you've grown that mustard seed. Now you can go back and get that other individual because you
Right.
can get right, man.
And
Man,
that's what it's
that's
all
what
about.
it is.
Coming out of it strong,
Mm,
so you can help somebody else that's going through the same thing, so they can see you and say, oh wow, you came out
wow.
of it. Because the Bible says we overcome by the blood of the lamb and the word of our testimony. We have to
Man,
share our
man,
stories.
wow.
We have to share our stories,
Yeah.
because that's going to help somebody else overcome.
Mm,
you know but first we got to become whole. We got to heal.
said
You
something.
can't be talking to
Yeah.
somebody out of your brokenness.
Mm.
you know
Because you're gonna be giving them broken pieces
Broken,
of
that
you. You
right,
know what
you're
I'm saying?
broken up in a
Yeah.
thousand pieces, and now you speaking broken. So
And then you said, that becoming whole, when we're born, God takes a piece of himself and he puts inside of us when we're born. But then when we mature, he calls himself to himself. So now we have matured in the things of God and the godliness of what we're supposed to do. So now we can maneuver. Now we can navigate. Now when we stand in that mirror, we got that image of him because we
the
have
image
poured.
bearer, we're image bearers. Ooh,
Man,
yes.
make me know it.
We are
Make me
image
know it.
bearers of God. You better know it.
Wow.
I told the women,
Wow.
listen, pull up the mirror and see yourself.
What?
You should see
Mm,
the reflection of God every morning when you
mm,
wake up. Doesn't matter how you woke up and you feel bad about yourself. You might not be having a good day, but take that mirror and hold it up. I am an image bearer of God.
wow.
I'm an image bearer.
Right.
So I look
Wow.
like my heavenly dad. So my past don't matter.
Mm,
You know what? This pandemic doesn't matter,
right.
right?
Right.
We have to know who we are. And sometimes we forget when adversity shows up,
Mm,
we forget who we are.
mm.
So
Adversity introduces a man to himself. Socrates said adversity introduces a man to himself. And you also said something about identity. If you don't know who you are,
you know who you
you
are.
don't know who you're not. And if
Mm.
you don't know who you're not, you're gonna subscribe to whatever they call you. You're a
Whatever they
loser.
call you.
You just like your daddy. You just like your cousin. You just like your auntie. They're gonna tell you who you are and call you all those names. You're gonna believe them because you haven't taken the time to
Right.
identify with who you are and to know who you are. But like I told you, if you don't know who you are, you don't know who you're not. But when
That's
you
so
find
true.
out who you are, you will understand that it's not what they call you. It's what you answer to.
I
What are you
love that.
answering to out there? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. What are you answering to? So
Right.
that's right there. What are you answering to? Because okay, let's just talk about our community. What do we answer to?
Mm.
We call each other any old thing. I hear men calling women bees and they respond to it like, I'm his bee. What?
Mm. Mm.
What? I can't even understand. I'm confused.
Right.
You know, how is that? First of all, don't call me that because that's going to be a whole problem right there.
Right. Right.
The
Right.
fact
It's
that
a
you even
different.
think that way about me is a problem. But I
Right.
don't even understand the narrative that for some they look at that as like a badge of honor. I don't understand.
No. No type of leadership, no type of guidance, no type of mother stepping up, no grandmas, no big mamas no more. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Back
so
in the day,
true. Yeah.
yeah, because I tell a story in the book. I talk about my grandma. I talk about her a lot because I was able to be around her and get that old wisdom, get that knowledge and get that understanding. And she taught me the acronym BYG, beat your game, which I used to call her when I was little. Hey grandma, hey baby, how you doing? Did you beat your game, baby? Oh, grandma, did we win our game? And she never corrected me. You know what I'm saying? She just used to laugh. And I argued with that statement all the way through. I graduated and into college. But then I later figured out that life's between your game is between you and you. You know what I'm saying? It's between you and you. And when you understand that life's a fight for territory, and when you stop fighting for what you don't want is gonna take over unconsciously. The Bible says the kingdom of heaven suffers violence,
And the
but the
violent take it
violence
by
take it by
force.
force.
Yes.
That let me know that the kingdom ain't for crybabies. So if you
Mm.
crying about what you want, it's not what's happening to you, it's happening through you. But what are you becoming while it's happening through you? Are you taking that mess and becoming a message? Are
Yes.
you are you mad or are you busy? And I took what I was going through, my situation. I didn't grow mad. I got busy. I found out what my vision was. I found out what my mission was. That's important. Your purpose. Why was you sent to this planet? Who are you? What are you called here to do? But if you don't
Right.
take the time to figure and to find out, you're going to be perpetuating a life of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different
Different
result because
result.
you're what you saw your uncles and your cousins and your mamas and your sisters, all of those people do. But I knew I was different and I knew I wanted something different. So I began to investigate. Because when we're young, God gives us a voice. When we're a baby, we cry when we wet. We cry when we hungry. We cry when we want to be held. When do we lose our voice?
Wow.
When did we
That's
lose our
good.
voice?
That's good.
But the chaoticness of life has beat us down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But didn't he tell us he wasn't going to put more on us than we can bear?
Mm.
Helen Keller said, Lord, I know you know how much I can bear. I just
Yeah.
wish you didn't have so much faith in me. You feel me? But we don't hold
Wow.
on. We don't stay in the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's
Well, that's
about
the
staying in
key.
the fight.
You have to stay in it. I always say you have to be in it in order to win it. If you decide to be on the
Man,
sidelines, no, you have to get in it in order to win it.
win.
You know, and sometimes we
Be
sit
in it.
around and look at other people winning, and it's like, well, why not me? Well, because you got to get back. You gave up. You threw in the towel. You got to get back in the game. You got
Who
to
else
get
would
back
you
in the game.
suggest? Yeah, why not you? Who else would you
Oh
suggest?
my God.
Stop complaining
Yes.
to everybody else. 80% don't care, and the other 20% glad as you.
Woo!
Hmm.
Isn't that the
Why you
truth?
complaining?
That
You
is the
sitting there complaining to those people that can't even help us.
can't
Those
even.
people that we're complaining to. Soon as you hang up the phone, they're gonna call their best friend. And they're gonna call their best friend.
Yep.
They're gonna call their best friend. Then before you know it, all their best friends know your business. And but now you mad. Why? Don't get mad, get busy. Get busy
Well,
doing what? Honing your gifts, honing your craft.
yes.
You know,
That. Mm,
we run to a job and they pay us for our skills. Now they pimping us. You know what I'm saying? You know, when they was trying to catch Jesus and make him a king, they tried to harpoon. Harpoon is what they use to catch a whale. That's something big.
mm,
That's something massive. That's something humongous. Your job is harpooning you because it's smothering your gifts out. So now you can't go do what you got to do because you
mm.
stuck. Just over
Man.
broke.
Woo! Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
you
my God.
stuck.
Oh my God. I had mentioned earlier, I do wealth builder classes. And the thing that God dropped in my spirit, I don't know, about 5 years ago, is what you are anointed to do, you can get paid to do. And
Mm,
so that's my tagline. That's what I teach. What you're anointed to do, you can get paid to do. So anything, God has given all of us gifts and talents. And it's so funny because I push people. You need to believe what I'm saying to you. So when we went through this whole pandemic, those who really followed what I was saying, followed my lead, and the fact
right,
that using the narrative that what I'm anointed to do, I can get paid to do because God already placed something on the inside of me that I can use. They're doing good during this pandemic. But
right.
the other ones with the job, because I always say you have to have multiple streams of income. How do you think you're
You
going to
said,
live off of one?
right,
That
right,
job that could go at
right.
any time. And so we should have learned a lot through this pandemic. That
Mm,
job is not your source. First of all, God is your source and resource.
right,
Okay. But he gives you gifts and talents, you know. And I go back to say what you are anointed to do, you can get paid to do. So I always tell them, go look inside. What is it that God has anointed you to do? Because you can get
mm,
paid to do that thing.
mm,
If you're going on a job every day, you're already doing it. You're
right,
just getting paid what they decide to pay you.
right. Wow. What you are anointed to do, you can get
You
paid
can
to
get
do.
paid to
He
do.
said he give us the power to create
Eight
wealth.
wealth. Yes.
Create. We don't understand create.
Mm,
Let's begin. That's start. That's established. That's to put you in a position and to set you up for the blessing. But we get caught up because they're giving us a salary and then we throw it off because they paying us enough to keep us from quitting and we making enough to quit and we're doing enough to keep them getting fired. You know what I'm saying? But when we tap in to know who we really are, man, and when we know when we get off the bleachers and get into
mm.
the game and understand how to walk out this marathon life for real, man, you will understand that you are Taylor. You are that individual that can go out and take territory. Genesis, he said he didn't sing rain on the earth because there was no man to work it. There was no man to till it. There was no man to manage it. What you don't manage, you lose. Your gifts,
Ooh,
your talents.
yes.
Your gifts will make room, but if you're
Room for
not
you.
managing those gifts, if you're not pouring water in those gifts, if you're not exercising those gifts, you're gonna lose your
Going to
gifts.
lose them. And not only that, but somebody else will. People are so deep. People will see your anointing. They'll see your gifts and talents, right? And they will manipulate it because if you don't understand what it is, they already see what it is. So they're going to take that same thing that you
Man,
don't get and understand. They're
man,
going to manipulate it. They're going to take advantage of it. And you try to figure out what am I here for? But other
right,
people see it and they take advantage of it. So you
right,
trying to find your way. Oh my God, I was having this conversation too. Finding your place at the table. You don't have to find your place at the table. If somebody don't let you at their table, you set up your own table
creative,
and
creative.
your own table and invite who you want to sit at your table. You don't have to fight to sit at somebody else's
And it's
table.
when you don't Man, you was talking about when you don't know who you are, you're gonna get pimped. And you know what Judas did to Jesus. And he sat at the table, and if you don't know don't know your Judas is on every level, you're gonna get pimped. And and I just went through that. I gave a company 8 years, 8 years, 8 years, and they furthered the status quo of black men don't take care of their kids because they wasn't paying me. I wasn't able to do what I needed to do. But when I come to myself, the prodigal son, when he
to
come to
yourself. That's right.
when I got my mind back, OMG, I understood my value and I understood my worth.
Yes.
OMG, man. But if you're not renewing your mind, if you're not pouring into your mind, he says, first seek first the
Kingdom of God and his righteousness.
And that's going and
then he's gonna
so
add
now,
all those things that you need.
Man. And then you know that sense of managing, he didn't send rain on the earth. You know, God don't gives us what we pray for, he gives us what we can manage. And then he grows that.
So true.
Be faithful over a few things and he'll multiply it into many. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he gives you. And then once you start pouring that water in, and once you start growing those seeds, how high do a tree grow? How tall? How wide do a tree grow? How tall do a tree grow? But when you go on that job, you're in a bucket. So you can't sprout out further you need to go. You can't grow tall as you need to grow because you are smothered. You have a lid on you. You can't jump out. You can't bust out because they're holding you back. But when you come into yourself, when your mind changes, Einstein said the level of thinking that has gotten me here has brought along problems that this thinking cannot solve. Which furthermore, lets me know that you cannot solve a problem in the same state in which you entered into that particular problem. Ooh. Your best thinking has gotten you in this situation. You know what I'm saying? So why not align? Paul said, when I was a child, I spoke like a child.
That's right.
But when I become a man, I put away childish things.
Put away them childish things.
So when you're a child, you're gonna speak first. You're not thinking about what you're gonna say. You're just gonna rumble off at the mouth. But when you get around, iron sharpens iron. Yes. So now you can think about what you're about to say. I don't change my thinking. Change your mind, change your world, change your reality in your world, because my mind has changed. And now when my mind changed, I'm understanding what my mind has changed too. So now I can understand what my mind has changed from. And then when I open my mouth, it's going to be seasoned with salt.
Now, see, you said something so important, because I talk a lot about your circle. Like, who's in your circle? You need to know who's in your circle, because if everybody in your circle, if everybody had the same conversation, oh, I'm broke, we broke, I'm broke. You know, then you got that broke mindset circle. So you need to find a new circle. You need to find, I always say, you know, if you have, first of all, you need to figure out what your purpose is, but then you need to connect yourself with people, like-minded people who are already where you want to go. You know, if you continue to hang around the same people that can't help you fulfill your purpose or can't add to, they can only subtract. You're going to stay right where you are, and you're all going to be right there murmuring and complaining together like Israelites for 40 years.
Right. And that's why they murmur and complain, because, you know, they had no direction. And when you don't have no direction, any direction is going to do. So you drop some nuggets there so you can go into, you know, sinning. Sinning just means, is a word they borrow from the Olympics, hamartia, meaning you missed the mark. So if you're the smartest one in your group, you got to get a new group. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's right.
If you hang around 5 broke people, you're going to be number 6.
Number 6.
You know what I'm saying? And I also use Mary, Joseph, and Elizabeth. Mary, Joseph, and Elizabeth. You know, Joseph was a representation of that group trying to hold you back, trying to remind you of your past. Paul said, forgetting those things which are behind, reaching forward to what lies before. So when you get that new group, you know, I'm thinking about the ones when they brought the men, the lame man that was in the bed. Had he not been with those men, and had he been with those group that couldn't get him to where he needed to go, they wouldn't have went to the other side of the house and ripped the roof off, because they didn't have the mindset, the mentality. They didn't have the capacity. Jesus said, foxes have holes, birds of the earth have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lie his head. It wasn't talking about a place to reside. Who has the capacity for these downloads? Who has the capacity to get around the right individuals and not get jealous? That's the thing right
Well,
there.
that's the key.
And not get
That's
jealous of
the
who they're
key.
around.
That's the key right there, because people tend to be, because look, I've lost I can't say I lost a lot of friends, because I've been very selective in my life with who I call friends. So those who I've called friend, they're still there. But I'm saying, but people who have come in and out of my life, but people come in for different reasons. Some people just come in to get what they can get, and then they're gone. You know, some people just come in to, they see your anointing on you, and it's like, I want a part of that. But then, that's all they want. They don't want to really learn anything. They just want to grab what they can grab and then run with it. So we have to be careful with who we allow in our circle. We have to be very intentional. Like you made a good point when you said, if you're the smartest one in your circle, you might want to find a new circle, because how can you grow if you're the smartest one in your circle? Where's the growth? Where's it going to come from? You have to challenge yourself. So I'm always open to that. I'm always open for a challenge. I don't get intimidated, especially if I see somebody that I feel like know more than me, or is an expert in a particular area that I'm not. I want to get close to you, because I'm willing to humble myself and learn what I can from you, right? Because I have strengths as well that you might, need some of what I have, and it's reciprocal. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's that competition. People get intimidated. So we got to but it goes back to mindset. Those things you set your mind on the most, you will become. And those things that you set your mind on the most will show up in your life every time. So what are you setting your mind on every day? What you setting your mind on? So that's why reading is fundamental. You gotta read, you gotta study, you gotta get around other people that have a different type of conversation. This is a big world we live in. So you have to be open to learning, Otherwise your mindset is going to stay right. It's going to stay set right where it is.
Wow. You drop now you dropping the ingredients to moving forward, the ingredients to be able, because commitment is staying in the game after the excitement has worn off.
Yes,
so
that's right.
Now you're dropping that the nuggets to continue in the fight. You're dropping the nuggets now. So the key thing is I gotta have a vision. I gotta know where I'm going. Habakkuk 2 says, write the vision and make it plain.
Make it plain. Yep.
Proverbs also says that when you don't have vision, now you're running around. You're lost. Yeah. You're in the wilderness. If you don't have no direction, and when you don't have no direction, any direction is going to do. You're going to hum a tear, because you're going to continue to perpetuate and get that fruit. But when you change your thinking, like you just said, now we can cut the root off. And we can begin to grow something else. We can take that mustard seed that we have, and a changed mind is a renewed mind.
Yeah.
Jesus said, repent, for the kingdom is at hand. Repent, for the kingdom is at hand. I don't change my thinking now, so my world has changed. A new way of doing things now. Moses said, teach me your way. God, if you was going through this particular situation right here, how would you get through it? You said glean and learn. I don't got around somebody smarter than me. He come here. He sent people to guide you, to lead you, so your path can grow brighter.
That's so true.
And brighter. So you can renew. So you can walk out this life, man.
That is so good.
30 people, man.
That is so good. That is so good. Woo! We can go on and on. This is so good. I didn't even bother to check comments or anything, but I know it's New Year's Eve, so a lot of people probably want to. But if you're watching this, I pray that you were taking some notes. If you catch the replay, this is good. This is powerful, and we definitely going to have to do a part 2 and invite my girl Tam on with me. But I definitely want you to tell them. You already mentioned how to get your book from Amazon, Tailored for Success. And I wanted to ask you, how did you publish your book? Did you self-publish it?
Yes, actually, Goddess Tammy Marie. She actually published the book.
Ooh,
She
okay.
yeah, so it is self-published. She actually published the book, and we also working with other individuals. So if they want to write their book, or they just want to get their story out there, if they just want to learn how to journal, inbox, because that's the key.
Yes.
Journaling starts the process. I see you got people journaling and you doing the
Yes.
Bible. That is so good. They got the divine spiritual aspect of it,
Yes.
so they can maneuver and they can be those eagles. They can be that lion, those creatures that God identified with, the lion and the eagle. You know how to hunt and you can find your vision because you that eagle soaring and you rising above your situation. And now you hunting. You that lion. I'm not the prettiest one in the jungle, but when I come out, I'm going to dominate. So
Woo.
man, that's just what it is. But if you need
Yes.
service, inbox us, Kingdom Works, or Goddess Tammy Marie, man, inbox. You want to write your book, you want to get your story out there, come through, come through. You need some coaching, you need some
Yes.
motivation.
All
We
of it.
capacity builders, come through. We got it, I promise you. SAM, the acronym I always use, I know I love to talk, but SAM,
That's okay.
solving problems, addressing issues, and meeting needs. And when
Yes.
you hook up with Kingdom Works, and when you go through that process, you're gonna have the capacity. You're gonna have poise. I use that poise. You're
Yes.
gonna be a producer. You're gonna
Mm.
be an owner. You're gonna be an investor.
That's the key
You
right
become
there.
a saver. And you're gonna be an entrepreneur. And you're
Yes.
gonna go out
You're
and
going to develop
dominate.
those multiple streams of income. So when we have another situation like a pandemic,
Mm,
you're not stuck with that one resource that's no longer available to you.
right.
So what I would like for you to do, you and my girl Tam, on Saturdays is when I have my Wealth Builder Saturdays, and that's when I give entrepreneurs an opportunity to share their businesses in the group. So feel free to post on Saturdays whatever you guys have going on.
Okay.
You know, yeah, because people need to, and the reason why I started doing that, I started doing it a while ago, is because a lot of my ministry is women who are starting over after abuse, after trauma, after divorce. And so they're literally starting over. And I had to teach them, listen, because
Mm,
one woman said to me, after she had left the shelter with her children and she got a job, she got job training, she got a job. She was like,
man.
I still can't pay my bills. And I'm like, no, no, she said to me, this is what she said to me. She says, I still can't make the ends meet. I'm like, you know what? The ends are never meant to meet. And that's when I started teaching wealth building. And God dropped that in my spirit, what you're anointed to do, you can get paid to do. You have to
Mm,
have multiple streams of income because that way, when one is not working, you have some others
right,
lined
right,
up. So
right.
you're never stuck focusing on one stream. And so on Saturdays, that's when that's when entrepreneurs can post whatever business, whatever, you know, you guys got going on, whatever upcoming events or whatever. Feel free
Okay.
to post them in there and let people know what you guys have going on because I know you're doing some powerful stuff.
Man,
You
to
two
God.
are a power couple. I'm so
Man,
godly proud of you too.
man, thank you so much,
Yes.
and thank you for having me on, and thank you for the opportunity. You're doing a great, phenomenal work. You've been that trailblazer, for your family, so they can see that it has been done and that it can be done. So I speak a blessing over you and your companion. Many, many, many more anniversaries, so you
Thank
can be that
you.
royal family that uh, other individuals that look like us can see the example so they can do
Yes.
it and become that and just man stay in the fight, because it's not easy, but just stay in the fight and hang in there, man.
Not easy, but it's worth it. You just have to stay in it in order to win it. You
Yeah,
know what I
stay in
mean?
it to win it,
That's
man. That was
right.
good.
Yeah, and I'm
All
just gonna
right,
end it on that note. Thank you so much.
you're
Um,
welcome,
is there anything else you want to say to the people before we end the
man.
live?
I think that's it.
You
we
you
we
hit
we on
you
that.
hit so much.
Happy New Year.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Happy New Year. I know I
Happy
don't
New
want to.
Year.
Yeah, because I know people have plans. I don't know where they're going, but I'm just
Yeah, yeah, Happy New
saying.
Year. Thank you again.
Amen. So thank you so much. Enjoy your evening, and I hope you guys. I don't know if you're going. I don't know where you would go, but this pandemic thing is still going on. But Happy New Year. Many
All right.
blessings over you. Thanks so much.
All
I'll
right.
see you the
Have
next
a
time. Have
blessed
a good
night.
evening.
All right.